These are the ingredients we're going to use. About 45% medium grade bark, orchid bark, about the same amount of perlite, expanded perlite. Mix those together, and the secret ingredient for all slipper orchids, papilopediums, is about 10% shell grit, because they all need a little extra calcium. So we'll mix that up together first as best we can. It's not easy to get it to mix properly because the shell grit is the heaviest component and it tends to sink to the bottom of the mix all the time. Turn it over a few times and we'll check it before we put it into the pots. Right, now I'll get some pots. These are the pots we'll be using today. Clear plastic pots. I like them because you can see the root growth happening from the plant, and you can also see whether the media is wet or dry. Right, we'll start off with this one first. Take the tag out, keep it aside so we don't lose it. Actually, that's the name of the orchid, that one there. Impulse by Hyacinth Carlos. We'll remove the old media in there. It's got a lovely new growth coming on it there. You can see that there. I'll take the top of the plant and we'll squeeze the pot, loosen the roots up, and then slowly pull the plant out. Get rid of the old media. Give it a shake, and there's the plant. Those roots are in pretty good shape actually. That one there is dead. I'll cut that one off because as a dry root it just retains moisture and tends to rot out the base of the plant and the other roots. It's a very healthy looking little growth on there, as you can see. I'll take that off, it's fallen off anyway. Alright, so first thing we do is see how deep we're going to put the plant, and we want the base of the plant to be round about the height of the pot, and because these roots are so long they're actually touching the bottom, I'll hold it in place here, moving it slightly towards the back because the growth is coming in this direction. So I'll pick up some media and push it down in between the roots to fill those holes up. There's some over there on the back. That's about the right height, you can see there. I'll put a little bit more around there and a little bit behind the back to hold that. And while I'm at it, I'll cut that old leaf off also. Alright, put the label back into the plant, put it aside. We'll water that once I've done the other ones, and then they'll go into the orchid house. Put that aside. This will be our next one. Take the tag out. That's the name of it. And with this one, I'll cut the flower off. And I'll take that upstairs. I'll put that in a specimen vase. You can see how pretty that flower would have been if it had opened properly. The boot's beautifully formed, the two ventral sepals are lovely, and the dorsal sepal should actually have come up to there. But it's a very pretty flower. That little guy was never going to open anyway, so that'll go upstairs. Alright, so we just checked around the bottom. I didn't see any growth on this. The new one. No, alright. Squeeze the pot, loosen it up. Hold the plant down the bottom and lift it up and shake out the growing medium it's in. The medium's in pretty good nick actually, so I would say that these are only potted maybe a year or so ago. Those two roots there are dead ones, so I'll cut those out. And the rest are all live. You can feel that when you squeeze them in your thumb, you can feel that they're alive. Alright, once again, check and see how deep we're going. And the roots are pretty much at the base. And there's a new growth just starting there. You can see that. So I'll cut these couple of small leaves off, give the new growth a better chance, and I'll cut that side one off too. They'll end up in the worm farm. The worms will like those. Alright, back to our potting. Now the growth's in that direction, so we'll put the plant sitting back there a little bit, and I'll start to put some media in front and the back, and then push it down carefully to fill in the voids between the roots there. A little bit more there, a bit over the top, shade more, done. And there we have it, and there's the new growth there. Put the label back in, and that's the second one ready to go into the orchid house for watering. Okay, change of style this time, something different. Hawaiian Shamrock Cross. I can't pronounce the first name, it's a bit hard to read. And you can see that was this year's flower spike, and so was that one. So what we'll do, there's a natural break point there. You can see down there the plant is growing in two directions. That's a natural break point. So we'll squeeze the pot, loosen the roots up, take the plant out, get rid of the old media, and then go round, check the roots. Well, that one's a deadie. Cut that one out, but the majority of them seem to be pretty good. That's a very old growth. That was probably the first growth, I would think. I'll cut that off. Now, take that leaf off in a moment. Now we just hold the plant firmly by the two pieces and spin them round, and it breaks off into two plants. Put that one over there for the moment. We'll trim this one up. I'll take that leaf off there, and also the one there. And they're pretty healthy roots actually. It's a lovely growth there. Alright, same thing again. Plastic clear pot. We'll place the orchid towards the back of the pot because it's growing in this direction. And then start to fill it up with some media. Pushing the media down, fill up all the gaps. Pull that one down there, looking better. And I'll cut this old leaf off from growth from 2 years ago. And a tiny bit more there. Right, and that's the first one. I'll write a new label in a moment for the second one. Two healthy growths there. I won't cut that one off at the back yet, I'll leave that. I think there's a little bit of nutrients still in that. Alright, start adding the media, pushing it down, front and back, turn it around, bit more in there. And over the side. Okay, that's the next one done. So, got to write another label now, and I'll put that in. And then I'll take them into the orchid house and water them, and they can continue their growth. This is an excellent idea. It's a 50ml syringe with a piece of 4mm poly tubing on the end of it. It's an excellent idea for first watering when you've just repotted them. That way you can direct the water where you want it to go,